Hi everyone, this is Sushma, Business Manager at iNogic, and I'll be the presenter for today's webinar. So welcome to today's webinar for Maplytics. So this is the second part of the Maplytics webinar series that we are conducting to cover all of the features that are available within the Maplytics. All lines will be muted during the webinar, and if you have any questions, so you can use the chat window to enter your questions, and we'll be considering the questions during the Q&A session at the end of the webinar, and the presentation deck and the webinar recording will be provided to you. So let's have a look on the agenda of today. So we'll start with the overview of all of the features that we have shortlisted for today, and which will be followed with the live demonstration of all of the features. And further, we'll also conduct a poll, so you can vote for the features that you feel the most useful or you already use the most for your mapping requirements. And at the end, we'll be having a Q&A session. So as we all know, MapReduce is a locational intelligence tool, and it uses the dynamic CRM data to plot the data on the map, and it uses the power of Bing Maps to plot dynamic CRM data on the map. And it is available for CRM 2013 and above, and it supports Dynamics 365 online, on-premises, partner-hosted IFDs, and as well as Power Apps. So let's have a look on all of the features that we have listed for today. So we'll start with the first feature, the most demanded feature, which is called the proximity search. So proximity search, using this feature, you can search for all of the nearby records based on the certain specified time or distance from a current location. And further, we'll see about the optimization of the route. So you can create the routes that are optimized based on the waypoints that you select. And the third feature that we'll be discussing is the truck routing. So this feature is the latest feature that we have added into our last release, April 2020. And using this feature, you can use this feature to optimize routes based on driving by trucks. So you can also look for the webinar that we have conducted lately, and that webinar was conducted for the latest release. So you can go to the Maplytics website and you can go through all of the webinars. So you can go to the latest release webinar as well. And further, we have the auto scheduling. So this is the advanced version of the routing optimization that we have, which means that using auto scheduling, you can automate a plan for a span of days, and you can get the routes created, optimized route created, as well as the activities for that particular span of days. And lastly, we'll see the check-in feature. So using the check-in feature, a person who's on the field and meeting clients, so that person can register their arrival and departure using this check-in button. So let's have a live demonstration of all of the features. So let's go to the CRM instance that I have. So I am on the page of accounts entity. So I have the two buttons, detail map and the heat map. So I can quickly go to the detail map over here, and we can start the features that we have listed for today. So you can also go to the Maplytics website within the page of events and webinar. And here you can see my last webinar given for the prerequisites to get Maplytics started. So here in this webinar, you will be getting all of the steps to activate and configure and get Maplytics started in order to start using the Maplytics. So you can see this webinar, and some of the basic features of the Maplytics have also been discussed over here. And after that, this is the second part of webinar that we are conducting over here. So I'm here into the detailed map, and now we'll be starting with the first feature that we have listed for today, which is the proximity search. So this is the most demanded feature of the Maplytics. So this is very important. This webinar has been shortlisted for the all of the features that are most useful for the people who are on field. So we have developed these features considering the requirements of the field professionals. So I'll just quickly plot some data. And about the proximity search, as I told earlier, if the field professional is on the field and let's say he has some spare time, or one of the appointments got cancelled, and he wants to look for all of the records that lie within the vicinity from his current location, so you can use this current proximity search feature. So here anywhere on the map I can just right click, and then I can add that location as the current location. So you can see that this location has been set as the current location over here. So every time the current location will be plotted as a green push pin. So we have two options to plot the proximity search, which one is the distance and another is the time. So we'll see both of them. So first starting with the distance, so this is the place where you can enter the radii. So it at max it takes up to 3 radii. So you can surely put one radii or one radius or two radii as well. So I'm just putting 3 radii. So I have entered 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6. Okay, so this is the radii that I've entered, and let me click on search. So because I have clicked or selected 3 radii, so this has given me 3 different circles based on the radii that I have given. So which is why we have named this feature as the concentric proximity search. So here you can see, you can hover on any push pin to see the line of sight distance, right? So you can also click on that particular push pin to open the tooltip card, and here again you can see the line of sight distance. So this is how, using the line of sight distance values, you can judge which push pin are near to you and which push pin are far to you, right? And in case you want to reach to that push pin, you want to travel to that push pin, so the straight line distance is basically the line of sight distance is basically the straight line distance from the current location till each of the push pins. So in case you want to travel to that push pin, you might wonder if the travel distance is also the same as the straight line distance. So obviously practically it won't be the same as the straight line distance, which is why we have given another option of show travel distance, right? So here if I select show travel distance, and then if I click on search, so this will calculate the individual shortest travel distance from the current location till each of the push pins. And this is how you will be getting two distances. One is the line of sight distance and another will be the shortest travel distance. So if you want to travel to any of the particular push pins, so you can see both of the distances and you can judge whether the push pin is near to you or far to you. So you can see the push pins are plotted, and now if I hover on any of the push pins, you can see the two distances, line of sight distance and the shortest travel distance. And the respective data is also available within the view data grid. So here you can see the line of sight distance is here. So you can give some values over here and you can filter the data from the view data grid as well. So what is the use of it? This is how you can see all of the data which are available to you within the vicinity of your current location. Now you can click on any of the push pins and you get the details of the contact details for that particular record. You can click on this and you can call that person to see if he is available for a meeting or not. And if he is available, you can choose the quick action button for creating the appointments. And obviously if the people are on field, they all be using the DeFi devices like mobiles or the tablets. So within the mobiles and tablets there's an additional button at the right hand side which is called the locate me button. So I have opened one of the blogs that I have written over here. So you can see, so this has shown the mobile screen, and you can see that this is the locate me button. If I click on that, so this will plot that GPS of the current GPS location of the device on the map. So you can select the data source and the view, and then you can search for the proximity within the mobile or the tablets as well. So here 1 mile of radius has been taken, and after that it will plot the proximity. So this is how you can use the features that we have into Maplytics on the devices like mobile or the tablets as well. So you can go to the Maplytics website and you'll be getting all of the blogs that we have written for the respective features that we have with the Maplytics. So let's go back to the page of detailed map. Now here, if I click on the outermost circle, you'll be getting the information about all of the push pins that fall into the all of the three circles. Like here, you can see this is the summary card that opens up, and this will give you the information on all of the records that fall under all of the three circles. So this information is based on the configuration that you have done within the entity maps. So you can decide what data should be shown within the summary card, right? And if I click on the inner circle, the middle circle, it will give you the information about all of the records that lie within these two circles. And similarly, if I click on the innermost circle, so this will give me the information about all of the records that lie within the innermost circle. So another most useful use case, the most basic use case that we have came across is that our customers, when they have, let's say they have hosted and they will be hosting an event at this particular location, and let's say they want to see how many records are lying within the vicinity of that particular location. So this is how they can see how many records are there in the surrounding, and this is how they can decide which of the records should be invited for the event. So here, let's say I feel that all of the push pins that all of the records that lie within these two circles can be invited for this event. So here I have selected the middle circle, and now I click on view data grid. Within this, I click on mass sections. So here you can see, if I click on the mass sections, this will give me an option of sending an email. So here, if I just select the option of sending an email, so this will give you the option to select a new email template or already created email template, and you can send this as a bulk email to all of the push pins that lie within the two circles. So this is how you can use this proximity search to invite the clients to your events as well. So this was the proximity search by distance, and let's see how it works for the time. So let's say you want to see all of the records that lie within the vicinity of a certain specified time from the current location. So you can directly do that. So here, let me just remove this. I can quickly go to the time. And here you can select with or without traffic. And here, let's say I select minutes and I select 8 minutes. So here, if I click on search, so this will search for all of the records that lie within the 8 minutes of travel from the current location. So this is how you can directly search for all of the records to which you can travel within the 8 minutes of your current location. So the push pins have plotted, and now if I hover on it, you can see the travel time as well as the travel distance. So this is the time for the proximity for the time. So the similar data is also available within this. I'm sorry. So here you can give some value and you can categorize your data as well based on some value for the travel time or the travel distance. So this was the first feature, proximity search by time and by distance. So now moving ahead to the next feature that we have for the routing optimization. So let me just plot some data, some more data. So you can plot any route for any locations on the map, right? So here you can right click anywhere, be it push pin or a location, you will get the three options: set as origin, set as destination, or add to a route, right? So I'll select add to route. So the reason I selected add to route is that I have already selected the default origin and destination. I'm sorry. So here So you can see I have selected only one waypoint, but this has given three waypoints directly. The reason for this is that these are the two waypoints that I've already selected within my configurations as my default origin and destination. So basically, you already know that the MapReduce configuration detail records are for the individual users that are available within the MapReduce team. So as I'm logged in as Sam here, so I'll go to the Sam's record, and here you can just scroll down, and here you'll get the option to select the default origin and destination. So this is very useful if in case the salesperson starts his journey and ends his journey to different locations, and these locations origin and destination are always constant. In that case, you can save the location, the constant locations, as the default values for the origin and destination, right? So same data has been, same locations has been fetched over here as soon as I added one waypoint to the route. So here, let's select some more waypoints to the route. I can click anywhere on the map or any push pin, and I can select some more waypoints, and I'll add to the route. So here you can see all of the locations have been listed, and now you can get the option of optimizing the route based on the shortest distance or shortest time, right? You can also choose whether to avoid highways, avoid toll roads, or if you want to see the traffic or not. So I'll just keep it simple, and let's click on go. So this will give you an optimized route for the waypoints that you have selected. So as I have so many data plotted on the map, so I'll use the layer menu to just clear the picture. So I'll just hide this records that are plotted for the accounts. And here you can see the route looks like two routes. So basically the reason for this is that I have selected the default destination here itself. So basically my optimized route suggests me to go from here, reach here, and then come back, because my default destination is also here, right? So here let me just remove this just to give you a clarified picture of a simple route. And after you have created the route, you also have the option of saving this route, right? So you can just give some date, let's say, and I'll just select the date, and I can select the user as well who will be following this route. So I'll save this. I can send this route details to any of the user as well, right? So now I'll tell you what is the use of the dashboards in the life of salespeople, which makes it much easier for the salesperson who is going to on the field to meet some people. So here I have opened one of the dashboards. Let me just refresh this. So you can see that just like I have created the route just now. So the same route, because I have assigned that route to myself, the as Sam. So here the route has been assigned to this particular dashboard. So whenever the salesperson Sam will open this dashboard, and he'll get to see this route has been assigned to me, and I'll have to follow this. So he can directly click on this, and this will open the route record, and within this you can click on the plot route button in order to plot that route on the map. So this makes it much easier. If the salesperson has a dashboard created for himself, he can simply open the dashboard and he can see all of the routes that he has to follow. So you can see the route has been plotted, and he can simply click on this redirection button, and this will give you the redirection links for the turn by turn navigation. So if I click on this, so this will let me go to the Google Maps to see the turn by turn directions. Right, so here we have added another option of another app, which is called Waze app, WAZE. So here let me go to the MapReduce configuration detail again of SAM. So here you can see that I have two options to select, Google and Waze. If I would have selected the Waze app, so the redirection would have opened into the Waze app within my desktop, mobiles, or the tablets. So this is how you can redirect yourself whenever you have a route to follow, so that you meet the location that it is supposed to be reached within time. And now one of the most important features which supports the routing optimization for the field professional is that along the route. So let me just show the push pins. Now within this, I have the option of along the route. So if I click on this, so what does this do? It will filter out the records based on the distance I have entered over here. Right. So here you can see the route, the records have been filtered based on the distance of 0.5 miles from the route. So this is how a person who is following the route, he'll be able to see how many records are lying within some vicinity along the route. So this is how he'll be able to see the nearest records along the route. He can click on that and he'll be able to see the information about that particular record, and he can confirm the person if he is available for an appointment or not. And if he is available, he can simply click on the tooltip card action and he can add this particular record as a appointment. So this is how you can use the along the route as well. And also, if in case you are updating this route, so you can simply drag the push that the route to a push pin, or you can simply add one more waypoint to the route. So you can do that. So you can update any route as well. So here if you save this, so you can also have the option of adding to an existing route or creating a new route. So this was the routing optimization. Now within this, we have also added a whole new option of creating the route based on driving by truck. So this was added into our latest release, April 2020. So you will be able, if you are on the trial, so you'll be able to see the icon. However, to enable this feature of truck route, you can contact me at crm@inogic.com, and I'll be changing something into your license, and I'll be giving you the truck routing within the license, and you have to update it. So I'll be giving you the instructions how to enable the truck routing at your end as well. So after I have updated your license, so you have to go to the license registration. So here I am within the settings. I'll go to the license registration, and within this I can click on activate. Right. So after activation, this will enable the truck routing as per my as per what I have enabled within your license. And after this, you can configure it. So within the configuration, you're already familiar with the respective entity maps and the dashboards. And apart from this, you'll be getting another tab over here, which is called the assets data. So you can select this and you can proceed. So this will configure the asset data that we have allowed over here, and these will assets data will be saved within the entity asset over here. So what is an asset data? Asset data are the sample trucks that you have configured within your Dynamics CRM. So you can open any one of the asset data. You can also edit these data like this. You can edit this, or you can simply click on new to create your own asset as well. So these are the sample assets. Whenever you plot the route based on the truck driving by truck, you can select an asset and you can uh, create the route based on that selected asset. So this is why the asset configuration is very necessary. And after you have configured the assets, you can go to the MapReduce configuration details. And within this, you have to go to the default configuration detail record. So this is the record which has no user. This is the default configuration detail record. And if I go to the advanced settings, so this will give me the option to enable the truck route. Right. So here you can click on this and this will enable the truck route feature within your Dynamics CRM. So if you want to try the truck routing, you can contact me at crm@inogic.com, and I'll give you the issue the license for the truck routing within your system. So you can update it at your end. So let me just delete this route, and here I have the option to select the truck icon. So you can see I have selected the truck icon, and this will give me the option to select the truck type. So this will list all of the asset data that you have just configured using the configuration button. So you can choose any one of the assets, or let's say you can choose the custom icon as well. You can give your own details over here as well, right? So I can, let me just choose one sample assets itself, and I can click on go. So here I have to select the waypoints. So let's select some waypoints. So I have selected some waypoints over here. Okay, so I have selected 3 waypoints, and now I'll select the truck out option, and the trailer 1 has been selected. And if I click on go, so this will give me the route for the trucks. So I also have the option of optimizing the route. So I can click on this, and I can click on go. So this will optimize my route based on driving by truck. So here again, I'll use the layer menu to just clear the picture, and here let me just hide the route, so records. So you can see the records has been hidden and the route is available. So this is the optimization of the route for the truck. So this is how you can create the route optimized based on driving by truck. And apart from this, we have also given the option to search for the records within the vicinity based on driving by truck as well. So let me just go to the direction card and just delete this route. So now we'll see how to search for the proximity based on driving by truck, right? So I can choose any location, and I can just right click and set as current location, and within this I have the option of show travel distance, right? So here you can select the asset data. So I can select any of the sample assets, or I can click on custom. So here you can enter your own details, and after entering your own details you can also click on the pencil icon to edit that details again. So here you also get the option of uh, any hazardous material if you're carrying on, so you can select that. Let me select a already configured asset itself, and let me select one hazardous material. So now let's say I'll select, I'll select um, so here, okay, so I have given 0.7, and let's click on search. So this will give you the plotting by the proximity based on the truck that you have selected. So this is how you can search for the proximity based on driving by truck. So if you are driving by truck and you have to reach to some waypoints, to some particular locations, and you want to see how many other records are there within the vicinity, you can use this truck option. You can select a truck, you can use the custom asset as well, and you can plot the proximity for a certain distance from the current location. So this is how you can plot the truck routing as well as the proximity based on driving by truck. So this was the third feature, and coming on to the fourth feature that we have listed for today, which is the auto scheduling. So let me just remove this, and I'll quickly plot some data. So as I told earlier, auto scheduling is an advanced version of the routing optimization that we have. So let's say you have a set of data that you want your salesperson to follow and meet them in order to convert them as the customers. So let's say I'll just quickly use the drawing option. So I've selected freehand drawing, and I'll click on search. So this will filter out all of the records that are lying within the drawn shape, right? So here if I click on this, so you can see the 15 push pins are there. So I can click on the mass actions, and I have the last option of auto scheduling. So this will lead me to the auto scheduling section. Right. So here you can see this is the auto scheduling card, and this has given me many options like start date, start location, end location, the period, how many days the schedule should be for, and the duration for the meeting, the start time, end time, and the break time for the day, And further, we have the break duration as well as the buffer time. So buffer time helps the salespeople to be on time and not to miss any of the meetings. And here you can select how many days you'll be working. So I can click on proceed, and this will give you an optimized schedule created for a span of days. So I think there's some issue with my net. Let me just reconnect. So this has given me the route for the waypoints that I have selected, and the respective data is also available within the view data grid right here. So you can see the date and time, and this is how you can get the automated schedule created. And you can click on the, so this is the transition button, you can click on the right option, and this will give you the route for the next day. So this is how you can see that this has been scheduled for 3 days based on the preferences that you have given into the auto scheduling card. And also the auto scheduling card, you might have noticed that the auto scheduling card was pre-filled. The reason for this is that I have already given my default values within my configuration details. So here you can see that this is the configuration detail record for SAM, and here you can see all of the data has been already pre-filled over here. So based on this configuration, whenever you go to the auto scheduling section, the card will be pre-filled based on the data fetched from your configuration. So every user can have their own preference for the data based on the auto scheduling that they want. So these waypoints that you see are the appointments that have been scheduled, and these are the routes. So these routes and appointments have not been saved yet. So to save it, you can click on the create activities button, and this will open up this window, and you can just type in the appointments. So this will allow you to save the activities for the appointments, the service activities, as well as the bookable resource bookings. So I'll select the appointments over here. I'll select some subject, and here I'll select the date, and I can select the person who will be following this schedule, and I can select the priority as well. So I can select any priority, and I'll select the routes. So as soon as I click on create, this will create the routes as well as the appointments under the activities within your dynamic CRM. So these are has been created, and we can go to the sales and activities, and within this you will be able to see the routes that has been created. So here you can see the appointments have been created, and just like that the routes have also been created. So this is how the routes and the appointments will be saved under the activities within your dynamic CRM. So this was the auto scheduling. And apart from this, we have the last feature for today, which is the check-in feature. So let me go to the detail map. And check-in is one of the most useful feature when the salespeople are on the field and they are meeting many people. So let me just plot some data, and let me just plot a route quickly. So I have added some waypoints. Let me add some more waypoints. Okay. And I have selected optimization, and I'll click on go. So this will give me an optimized route for the waypoints that I've selected. So this is the route. Okay. And I'll just hide the push pins. Now this is the route that I have selected for the waypoints. And now using the check-in, so basically whenever the people, the salesperson is on the field and let's say he's following this route, and here he comes on to the C push pin and he meets that client. So now while he has arrived to that location of the record, which is the C waypoint, so he can click on this push pin and he'll be getting the tooltip card opened up. So here you'll be getting the check-in button. So here I might have clicked on this button earlier, so you can click it on it again. So you can see the checkout has been successful. So basically we have given the same button for check-in as well as checkout. So here you can, if the person has arrived to that particular meeting, so he can click on this check-in button and the check-in will be done. And this will fetch the GPS location of the salesperson and the time. And again, if he is completed the meeting, he can click on the checkout button and this will be checking out the salesperson from that particular location, right? And also let's say the salesperson doesn't use the Maplytics on the phone, so he can directly go to the CRM and he can open the record within the CRM, and there's another option to check in and check out within the record as well. So here you can see this is the record of that particular account, and here you can go to the three ellipses, and here also you have another option to check in. So you can check in and you can again you can check out. So the same button will show you the checkout button. So this is how you can check in and check out. Right. So this is the first perspective of using the feature of check-in, which is the perspective of the salesperson who is on the field. Now, the superior person of that particular salesperson, which means that let's say he has a reporting manager. So the reporting manager can also use this check-in feature in order to plot the data on the map. So here you can use this and you can select the check-in data source, as well as you can select the respective view over here, right? So I'm not plotting this because there's some issue with my net today, so the proper push pins are not coming. This is just the issue of the net. If you have a proper net connection, so you will be getting the proper push pins as we have shown within the user manual. So let me just here. So I'm sorry, I'm showing you this here as I'm working from home. So the next connection is not that proper. So you can see this is a screen shot that I had given within the user manual, and you'll be able to see the check-in push pins within two kinds of push pins. Right. So you can see that two kinds of push pins are there, which are representing the check-ins. One is the push pin with no cross, and one is the push pin with a red cross. So why there are two kinds of push pin? The push pin which doesn't have a cross into this, it means that this is a valid check-in. And the push pin which has a cross, it means that this is an invalid check-in. So how do you define that this is a valid check-in or an invalid check-in? So let me show you the concept that we use in order to handle the check-ins. So I'll go to the settings, and then I'll go to the Maplytics configuration details, and I'll go to the record which has no user, the default configuration detail record. So within this, we have given the tab for check-in. So here you'll be getting the settings for check-in. So you can see that you can opt out for checkout as well. If you want to have check-in as well as checkout option, you can surely do that. And further, we have the default radius option. So what is the default radius? If a salesperson is there within this particular default radius, he'll be able to check in, and that check-in will be considered as valid check-in. But if he will not be within this default radius, he will be able to check in or check out, but those push pins will be shown with a invalid push pin. So this is how this is a valid push pin, which means that the person was there within the default radius that we have set into the configurations. And if in case the person was not within that default radius, so here you can get the push pin with a cross. So this shows that the person was not into the default radius and he was not at the meeting location. So this is how you can differentiate between the people who are checking in properly and who are not checking it properly. And further, you can also restrict your salespeople to avoid checking in incorrectly. So for that, we have given the option of geofencing. So what is geofencing? Geofencing is creating a virtual boundary for your salespeople. So if you have entered the geofencing as yes, so here you can surely change this limit as well. So this means that if a salesperson is within this radius of geofence 0.20 miles, so he'll be able to check in or check out. But if the salesperson is outside this particular time, sorry, the distance 0.20 miles, so he will not be able to check in and check out. So this is how you restrict the people if they are outside the meeting location, and you can restrict them from checking in and check out. So if the person is outside that particular geofence radius and is still trying to check in or check out, so he'll be getting a message that you are so and so distance away from the location and you'll have to move closer to that location. So in that case, salesperson would understand that he is not closer to the meeting location, so he can move ahead, go to the meeting location, and then he can check in or check out. So these were the all of the features that we have listed for today, and we'll be also be conducting another webinar which will be conducted on 20 May 2020. So you can follow that webinar, and we'll be discussing some features which will be territory management, shape operations, PCF, and heat map. So now I'll be just launching a poll. You can download the latest solution from the Microsoft App Source or the website. You can install this, and you can activate a free trial at your end as well. Or else you can just contact me at crm@inogic if you want to have a demo customized based on your mapping requirements. So let me launch the poll for you. So please vote in for the features that you already use the most or you like the most. So I'll be waiting for a few seconds more. Please enter your votes. So you can choose the feature based on the usefulness of the features for your mapping use cases. Okay, so now I'll be ending this poll. So now we are in the session of Q&A session. You can ask if you have any queries. Okay, so Matthew has asked if he can get the recording of this webinar. Sure, Matthew. You'll be sent a mail with which will contain this PPT as well, the presentation as well as the recording of this webinar. Okay, so Adam has asked how do we utilize the truck route. So basically utilization of truck route is you can firstly you'll have to contact me at crm@inogic.com. I'll be giving you the license for the truck route, and I'll be giving you the instructions how to enable the truck route into your trial. You can try out the truck route. I'll be giving you the manual as well, how to use this truck. So using the truck route option, you can create the routes based on the driving by truck, or else you can also plot the proximity based on driving by truck. So these are the two things that you can use with the feature of truck route. I'll be giving you the user manual as well. So you can follow the user manual of truck route and you can try it out. And if in case you are interested in purchase, I can surely help you out for that. So please type in your questions if you have any query. So Brittany has asked, can the route and proximity be created into the mobile as well? So yeah, Brittany, you can surely create the route or you can plot the proximity within the mobile. So obviously we have developed it so that the field professionals can use it efficiently. If the field professionals are using on the field, they will be using within the mobile or the tablets. So you have this Dynamic CRM app for phones. So you can just download that. You can install the Dynamic CRM app for phones within the mobile or the tablet. And within that, just like I have logged into my instance using the credentials, so you can log into your instance and you can be able to use Maplytics just like I have shown into the desktop. So the UI is same. Okay, Matthew has asked, is it compatible with the Resco mobile CRM app? So as of now, it is not compatible with Resco mobile CRM app, but we have this into our future roadmap. So we'll be working into our future. So we can surely consider this to add somewhere into our future releases. And Dave has asked, will the truck route be available into the trial? So if you are activating a trial, so you'll be getting the truck routing icon, but that will not be clickable. So you have to contact me at crm@inogic.com and I'll be issuing the license and you can update that at your end with my instructions given. So that way you can enable the truck route. So please type in your questions if you have any. So Rick has asked if the auto scheduling considers the existing appointments as well. So as of now, the auto scheduling does not consider the existing appointments. However, we are working for our next release. So our next release will be towards July, and we are considering the existing appointments into that as well. So we are working on making the advanced version of this auto scheduling, and we will be getting many more options within the auto scheduling, like considering multiple users or choosing whether to reschedule the existing appointments or keep it as it is and consider the existing appointments within the route as well. So you'll be able to consider the off-site and on-site meetings as well. So you can look out to our next release, which will be towards July 2020. So Shelly has asked, with the check-in feature, check-in work within the mobile or tablet. So yes, the check-in feature works within the mobile or tablets as well. So within the mobile, if you click on any of the record within the tooltip card, you will be getting the button for check-in or checkout. And or else you can also go to the CRM directly, the CRM Dynamic CRM app for phones. You can search for any of the record, and within the record itself you can check in or check out using the check in check out button. So Debbie has asked if if we can I change the distance for the along the route feature. So yes, you can surely change the distance. You can so that is the default distance that we have saved within the configurations. So you can go to the configuration. Every user can have their own configurations. They can choose their own preference for the along the route distance. So Matthew has asked, I did not understand what the check-in, check-out button purpose is. Okay, so I'll explain it again. So check-in is a feature that we have developed for the people who are on the field for meetings. So if a person goes to a meeting, the reporting manager of that particular salesperson would want that I should know whether the salesperson actually went for the meeting or not, right? So to track the performance of the salespeople, we have created this feature of check-in. Using the check-in button, the salesperson, whenever he is on the meeting, when he reaches the meeting location, he clicks on the check-in button, and that creates a record for check-in. So that fetches his current GPS location and the current geo coordinates into the check-in record. And again, after the meeting is completed, the salesperson can again click on the checkout button, and that will fetch the timing as well as the geo coordinates of that particular salesperson. So this way, the check-in and checkout for each of the meetings that the salesperson is going through, the check-in and checkout records will be created. And after that, the reporting manager can plot the check-in and checkout records on the map, and he'll be able to understand which salesperson actually went to the meeting and how much time the meeting was for. So he can see whether the salesperson actually went for the meeting location and conducted the meeting with the client. And you can also see which of the salesperson didn't go to the meeting location and yet they tried for check-in. So you'll be getting a invalid check-in for those people. So this way you can understand that these salespeople are not working properly as they are supposed to, and they are not conducting the meetings as they are supposed to. So this is the use of the check-in and checkout button. Using this, you can track out the performance of the salespeople who are on the field. If you want, you can just contact me at crm at Dinogic if you want to have a exclusive demo of the check-in feature for yourself, so I can surely conduct a demo for you. So Matthew has asked the question, if a salesperson creates an optimized route for a week and one of the appointment is not available, so can they create a follow-up that will add to the week's route? So okay, so yeah, you can surely do that. Let's say you have created an automated plan that creates a route for over a week, and one of the client is not available for the meeting. So you can surely skip that, or else you can go to that route. You can plot that route and add another waypoint to the route. So you can update any route anytime. So you can update the route, and you can also save that route within the same route, or you can also create another route for the follow-ups that contains that particular appointment which was not happened at the previous route. So Rob has asked, if we have covered the territory management yet, where can I get the webinar for the territory management? So Rob, we haven't covered the territory management yet. So we'll be covering into the territory management into our next webinar, which will be conducted on 20 May. You can follow that webinar. You can register for that webinar. You can go to the Mapnetics website. You can go to the webinar page, and within that you have the registration link. Please register for that webinar, and you can attend the webinar to see all of the features that will be conducting into our next webinar. We will be also be seeing the shape operations, PCF, as well as the heat map into our next webinar. So please type in your questions if you have any further questions. I'll be waiting for a few minutes more. Please type in if you have any questions. Okay, so I think all of the questions have been answered. So thank you all for attending this webinar. I really appreciate your presence into this webinar. And you can contact me at CRM at Anojik for a live demo of all of the features that you want. You can share a brief of your use cases to crm@anojik.com, and I'll be helping you with the demo and more information of the exact features that will be helping you to fulfill your requirements. Thank you so much for attending, and we'll be meeting into our next webinar on 20th. Thank you so much. Bye.